Good Thursday afternoon, everyone. Kevin Rouch with you today. It is Thursday, June 19th. This is the Daily Scrum coming to you from Studio B in beautiful Grandview Heights, Ohio. It's going to be kind of a quiet day today, but that doesn't mean we won't go right at it. Some things in progress as we speak. We do this show every day at 3 o'clock in the afternoon unless something gets in the way. That's only happened once. This is, I think, show 17. Getting there. So we're glad that you are with us today. On the slide today, that is the front cover of the book we're going to discuss here in just a minute. It's called Lucky Loser, Michael Costa, who you may recognize from The Daily Show. But did you know he was an accomplished tennis player, was a professional tennis player? I think of all those guys as being like 5'10" or shorter when you see him on TV. He's not. He's a tall, lanky guy who was he looked like a tennis player and does look like a tennis player. He's still with us. This book came out this year, so it's only available in hardcover, or if you get electronic books, ebooks, can do that too. We'll talk about it in just a little bit. But that is Michael Costa right there. Lucky Loser. Don't let it be confused with a book that came out about political stuff. Again, we try to avoid that on this program, saying one thing or another, because we want people just to talk about sports. That's it. Maybe we'll get another show someday, but that's not today. Big game tonight. It will be in Indianapolis. Game 6 of the NBA Finals with OKC up 3-2. Big home win on Monday. But tonight they're back in Indianapolis for Game 6 at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. 8:30 start time on ABC. And the question's going to be whether Tyrese Halliburton is healthy enough to have his usual impact. He's got a bad calf. And I can tell you, as a person who shredded a Achilles tendon, it was not in sports. I was trying to push a frozen garage door up and open. It was pretty frozen, as it turns out. And I was lined up apparently geometrically appropriately, or I thought inappropriately, and pushed as hard as I could. And just shot down through and took care of one of the Achilles. So I know what that feels like. And so he's probably trying to avoid that very same thing in his calf, because when you're hurt, you favor it by not putting pressure on it. And I don't know that you can do in basketball. There's just too much back and forth, start, stop, jump. So anyway, he says if he can walk, he's going to go. So I would imagine he's going to go. I just don't know how long it'll last or how well he'll play when he's in there. He hurt it Monday during the game, and after that, he was not at his best. I think you could say that safely. But for the people who said, he's not producing or what, stop it. If you've ever played with an injury, I remember just playing, men's softball, still in my 20s, and hurt a muscle in my quad and couldn't bend over and still play. And that was just dumb. You just look silly. Especially when nothing's on the line except pride. Although sometimes that That's more important than money. It shouldn't have been in this case. If a ball bounced above my belt, I could field it and throw it. But other than that, wasn't happening. I would like to say, though, that season, Schottenstein, Zox, and Dunn, not a law firm anymore, now folded into another. We won the championship. We won. Can you imagine umpiring the Lawyers League? I mean, I went to a little bit. I've been trained as an umpire. I wouldn't want to do that. I umpired a little bit in the Frontier League when I worked there. And I would not want to. I would rather do that than I had a guy. Sorry, I'm going to wax on for a moment. A guy I remember running between first and second on I played a little baseball growing up. I mean, I knew the rules, what you're supposed to do, and I was on first base, and there was a ball hit to shortstop, and it was an easy play at second. I didn't need to slide or get in the way or whatever, so I just peeled off toward the outfield. And this infielder, rather than playing the second baseman the way he should have, he backed way up so that now I'm in his way. I remember. And I didn't want to be. I just kept going. By the time I was done, I was running in the grass. And I remember one of the lawyer players yelled at the guy, "Next time, just hit him in the forehead." I'm thinking, when you don't know a lot about the game, you're dangerous, right? And I might have said something back to that guy. Remembered who it was. But, other than that. So I guess the point of all this palaver is we'll see if Tyrese Halliburton is ready to go. They certainly do not want him to injure at worst going into next year. That means you lose today, you lose next year. That's just not what you want. So I think that's the thing to watch for early on in this one. And I think OKC is a better team this year. They just are. And anyway, tonight could be the last one. If Indiana wins, they'll go back to Oklahoma City to play Game 7, which I kind of hope. Wish we still had hockey. And now that that's over, that was over in 6 games too. So we don't want to see that tonight. Major League Baseball picking up. We're getting close to a bunch of trades happening, I think. We had the big one with Devers going to L.A. And we'll talk more about that on Monday. We're going to really do a deep dive on Monday now that we'll have, by that time, basketball and hockey will be done. So we're going to start doing that. The Reds keep winning, still 6.5 back, but they're only 2 games out of the wild card. So we'll see if they can keep that streak going. Tito Francona is just so good at what he does. I think they call him Tito. It's Tino. I know. For people that want to correct. You're always mindful of that. I've done a lot of radio. I didn't used to think about that much. And now with social media, you think about it on about every sentence. So it's like, did I say it right? Now that I'm complaining about people's English, we'll do our latest Get Off My Lawn tomorrow, where I complain about language currently being used by announcers, usually young. I think one of the last ones was Tor, T-O-U-R, pronounced as Tor. We'll see what we got for tomorrow. So, and Monday we'll go much deeper into Major League Baseball as teams kind of figure out what they want to do. One of the guys to watch, by the way, over the weekend, if you're a Cubs fan or not, one of the guys that's really playing well right now is Pete Crow Armstrong. He is he's a many tool player. Next week, as well, we're going to talk about the new documentary about Ohio State, the controversy there. I had a chance to watch it yesterday. We'll talk about that a little bit. I know one of the guys, I'll save that for the discussion, who was a wrestling referee, had some really positive interactions at the Drexel Theater when I was the theater director there. We did a movie, Foxcatcher, if you remember that, and he came in and spoke. So we'll talk about all that stuff next week. We want to make sure we're prepared for all that, and we give you some insight into it without just talking about it casually. That's too important. Couple updates. Jason Day finished his first round. This is one of those signature events, which they're doing right before and after majors. This is the last signature event on the PGA Tour this year, which basically means it's a reduced field. There's no cut. Everybody gets a check. Jason Day, one of those guys. He did well today. He was even at the turn, and then on the back nine, he had 4 straight birdies, and that's where he finishes. 4 under 66 up in Cromwell, Connecticut at the Travelers Championship. You know that one. It's got the big umbrella in the middle of the lake. So the Westerville native, Jason Day, playing well. He'll go off. We won't know tomorrow because he'll be in the afternoon group tomorrow. They switched those the first 2 days. And then Saturday and Sunday, they put them in order of how they're doing, if you didn't know that. Our book club. Now, okay, here's the deal. We hyped this a little bit, don't we? I'm about halfway through this first book. We're going to encourage you that in the next couple of weeks, if you want to play along, it's called Lucky Loser, Michael Costa. It's right there on the slide. I think it's only available if you want to get the printed one. It is only available in hardback at the moment. Just came out. And our goal is to get Michael Costa. We're going to effort on that, to get him on the show. He's probably not too busy doing the Daily Show now. Actually, and they alternate weeks. So they have like rotating hosts now, but after Jon Stewart on Monday, they'll have one of the hosts do the next 3 days because they do them through Thursday. And so we'll try to pick a time when Michael Costa's, it's not his week because he'd be way too busy. I like the book, so I'm about halfway through. I like it a lot. Michael Costa started out, grew up in Ann Arbor. Don't let that throw you. He went to the University of Illinois, played tennis. I mean, he was a D1 tennis guy, played on some really good teams down there. And then he went off to play professional tennis, and that's kind of where I am now. And then it'll go into a stand-up stuff after that. It's fascinating. I don't know a lot about the world of tennis and how that works. Between college years, he went over and played in Europe, in the Netherlands, played a little bit in France, just talks about how all that worked. And he, of course, has the voice of a comedian. And just when you think it's getting a little, like maybe he's getting a little arrogant about a couple, then he just totally beats himself up about something. And it's funny. It's laugh out loud funny at points. And fascinating and I suppose fascinating if you knew the world, but I don't know how young players work their way to professionalism. And this has a nice description of it, what they do. So I would recommend maybe getting it, the ebook. You certainly can get it through. I mean, one of the great things about Columbus, by the way, if you didn't know this, Columbus has a great library system. And when I say system, I mean not only the Metro Library, Columbus proper, but I live in Grandview Heights, and we have a library, but it's connected, and it's a great library, by the way. It's connected to all these other libraries. So you go online, you find a book. If your local one doesn't have it, they go get it. They let you know when they get it. They bring it. I mean, I do that all the time. And so I don't know how many copies. I wasn't able to check today. But I will tell you, there's got to be a couple out there floating around. Lucky loser, Michael Costa. Costa is with a K. And I'm looking forward to then going from, he's starting out at a very low level. They have to get ATP points to be put on the ranking system. And you get ranked all the way down into the thousands of people. And he got that. I mean, he was ranked in that top whatever. And now he's going to go see how he can go pursue that now after he leaves college. That's where I am. But I really want to see how you start that stand-up thing too. So I'm looking forward to that. So if you want to grab it, Lucky Loser, I'll be done in the next couple of weeks. We'll do it from 2 weeks from today. We'll talk about it fully. We're going to do this on Thursdays once a month. Grab a new book and give ourselves a month to look at that. I got a couple on the shelf that I just got. One involving gambling and how that's affected sports. Maybe that's what we'll do next. So that's the book club. Not hard, easy. And if you read along with us, let us know. I don't know. Prizes? I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. We don't have Oprah's budget, Reese Witherspoon's budget. They have great book club type stuff. Maybe we'll work up to that. There's no big sports book club. We want to be part of that. That's what we want. So maybe pick that up. We'll talk more about it as we go, but in a couple of weeks from today, we'll go full force on it and recommend the next one. That's what the book club is. You know what's going on right now? Clippers are playing. They got suspended, not rained out. Rain suspended. That's a hyphenated term that I just made up. And it has been a offensive fest. When they suspended last night, the Clippers were up 4-3. That was at the end of 3 thereabouts last night. Since then, Indianapolis scored another 4, but the Clippers have scored 4 themselves. So it's 8-7 right now. Clippers in the first game. They'll play another game that was scheduled originally for 12:05. Not sure if they'll go 7 in that. I don't know what you do in suspended games. Maybe. Didn't see any indication on the schedule. But right now it's 8-7. Clippers up. Indianapolis Indians have a runner on second with 1 out. You can start listening to that right now on 9:20 a.m. and then catch the second game. That's what I'm going to do. 8-7, they're up. Oh, top of the 8th now. So they are going to go. They're going to go the full 9 in this one. Not sure about the second one. I'm going to tune in and listen to Ryan Mitchell and see what the deal is. So you got a lot more to watch if you want to watch on. Bally has a free app. You can watch for free minor league baseball on the Bally app. Or you can dial up MLB TV, which includes MILB.TV, which is minor league baseball TV. And Ryan Mitchell will be the voice that you hear since it's a game at Huntington Park. Speaking of that, we have a guest scheduled for tomorrow that will know all this stuff because it is Tyler Parsons, who I'm sure is not listening now because he's active around the ballpark, but he is the president and general manager of the Clippers in his first year after taking over for Ken Schnocky. Ken's still president. What do you call that? It's not ex officio. He's still around for a couple more years before he formally retires. He wants to go 50 years. He's already been there 48. That is a big deal. Tyler Parsons comes to Columbus from Durham, North Carolina, where the Bulls, he was the general manager, native of Michigan. All reports doing a great job over there this year. Had a chance to talk to him a few times. So he will be on with us tomorrow, 3 o'clock. And if you have anything you'd like us to talk about, review, go over, people to interview, we love doing that. send us an email real easy. It's info@cbussports.com. 2 S's in the middle, 1 at the end. info@cbussports.com. And we look at every single one. But if you've got an idea for an interview, a story, something we should talk about, something we messed up, we're glad to talk about it. Happens all the time. You just didn't, when I started doing this many moons ago, I did a little bit on 610, and you just didn't have people that were commenting. You might once in a while get a letter. You might once in a while, as email came in, you get that, but man, it's just so instant right now. So anyway, we hope that you will let us know what's going on. Tomorrow, Tyler Parsons, President GM of the Clippers. We'll go through his background, and I'm going to make sure to ask him about Sunday Family Day. The best family entertainment for your dollars is at Huntington Park on Sundays. And we're going to go over it so that I get it exactly right. Because you can, on a beautiful day, go out and sit on the berm or the bleachers over the outfield wall. You get 4 people in. We'll go through it. It's under $20 or maybe just over $20. We'll clear it up. But it's an amazing deal to get into the ballpark. All right, just before we let you go, we'll tell you the Clippers hanging on. Indians have runners at second and third. This is top of the 8th. Clippers up 8-7. 2 outs, though. So they need to get another out and go to the bottom of the 8th, still up 1. And then there'll be another game after this, so more to watch or listen to. All right, here we go. Final thing. Be a short one today. Much longer tomorrow. Yesterday's question, because we were talking to our good friend Logan Morris from Racing Refresh Monday night podcast. We were talking to Logan just about NASCAR and Indy and just the Reds, big Reds fan. But we thought we'd ask a NASCAR trivia question. We did so, and I think it's super easy. But it's kind of my guilty pleasure, to be honest, to watch NASCAR. And the reason for that, by the way, is there used to be 2 stock car circuits. NASCAR was one. That was the France family. It still is for all practical purposes. And the other was USAC. And USAC, they just competing leagues, different racetracks, different things going on. But their best driver for a pretty good piece while I was growing up was a fella by the name of Butch Hartman. And he's from Zanesville, my hometown. My dad, who was on TV in Zanesville, sports guy, covered Butch Hartman. In fact, went around the Michigan track inside that car. My mom was not thrilled about this, but he rode around in that seat that's not really a seat in the front at Michigan, which is a fast track. But we always, he covered him all the time, loved him. And the Hartmans had they had a towing business along with the garage down there. And Butch was a great racer. Now, at one point, that just kind of went away. And NASCAR now is the king of all the stock car realm. But I just enjoyed watching it when I was a kid. I like open wheel too. Been to Indy when I was young, and then now I've been a couple times after that. And the couple times after that was to like qualifying, a little different than the race itself. But I enjoy it all. So that's why we had Logan on, so we could talk about that. But the question is, I think that's what we were doing here. Who has the most NASCAR wins? That was yesterday's question. Who has the most NASCAR wins? And the answer, again, I think pretty easy. Richard Petty still has the record with 200. A nice even number to remember. 200 victories. Career span from 1958 to 1992. Still around. Still with a team that he's still involved. He is still the king. That's what they know him as, the king. So the answer is Richard Petty, 200 wins, most NASCAR wins. Today's question, in honor of being book club day, kind of our first and a half. We talked about it last week a little bit, but today's the official start. Our question is, and we'll answer it tomorrow, what is the biggest grossing sports book of all time? Is that the right way to ask it? What is the largest? No, I think it's biggest grossing sports book of all time. What book has made the most money in the history of ever? That is the trivia question today. We'll answer it tomorrow. And there's some good candidates out there. I'm not going to spoil it for sure. But we will have an answer for you coming up tomorrow. And don't forget, Tyler Parsons, President GM of the Columbus Clippers, will be on with us when I sign off here in just a moment. I'm going to go listen to the end of this game, listen to the whole another one. That's on 9:20 a.m., by the way. Fox Sports 9:20 a.m., Ryan Mitchell. Well, that's going to wind it up for today. Enjoy whatever you're doing. Maybe we'll stay away from that rain last night. I'll take the wind over the rain. But get out there and enjoy something outside. We'll be back with you tomorrow. On behalf of everyone here at the Daily Scrum, I'm Kevin Rouch. Good afternoon.